I thought it was weird when you picked us to make a documentary. But all in all, I think an ordinary paper company like Dunder Mifflin was a great subject for a documentary. There's a lot of beauty in ordinary things. Isn't that kind of the point?
That clip is the very last scene in the series finale of one of the greatest American television shows ever made, The Office. And I think it pretty much summed up the entire series with a very simple yet purposeful idea. And an idea that is truly more important now than ever.
I know where this is going.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
The show explores the everyday lives of office workers in a regular paper company in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And that's it. No epic adventures or thrilling heists, or anything that we would normally qualify as overly compelling. But through this simple concept of regular daily life, we get all the highs and lows that regular daily people face. From pranks to crushes to meetings to costume contests to laughing till we cry and crying till we, well, I don't know, stop crying, I guess. But either way, that contrast of positive highlights with honest slumps is extremely true to life, and often leaves the viewer feeling almost satisfied, knowing that life isn't ever perfect.
Yes, I think that one of the issues with social media that's been pointed out by many people is that I think maybe particularly Instagram, people look like they have a much better life than they really do.
This is Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur and founder of Tesla, SpaceX, and so many other things. He's smart, let's just say that.
Right.
So
By design.
yeah, people are posting pictures of when they're really happy. They're modifying those pictures to be better looking.
Right.
So people basically seem they're way better looking than they basically really are.
Right.
And they're way happier seeming than they really are.
Musk is addressing a problem that has started to increasingly plague our culture the more and more that technology is intertwined into our lives. It's a problem that's caused from social media, and something that's instinctively rooted deep within the human psyche. One major component of being human is being self-reflective, which is basically the ability to look at ourselves critically and form some sort of idea or perception from it. It's how we learn to understand ourselves and ultimately how we define ourselves. However, the only way we're able to form that self-assessment is by referring to something else. And considering there's 7 billion other animals on this planet that look and act the same way you do, you're probably going to reference them.
I like you peoples. Yeah. Can you teach me how to dress? How can I be like you?
Well, first, you need to loosen up their belt, let them jeans down.
Pull them down.
Don't pull them down. Like
Comparison can become unhealthy when it becomes more about baselining other people's happiness. And that's where Instagram and other social medias come into play.
For 3 weeks, we sailed the Naomi through the Caribbean.
At its core, it's used by most people as a photo album to share and remember specific moments throughout their life. But I think that's where it can actually be doing harm to the way people view the world. There are two inherent problems with Instagram as a platform. Number one is crowdsourcing self-esteem. It's honestly very rare that you scroll through Instagram and see a post that isn't trying to, in a way, impress you. Because most people are always trying to bolster up this false, polished image of themselves that they've created online. Again, at its core, the intentions of Instagram make sense. You're sharing this piece of content from your life with your friends as a way of telling your story. However, the problem is when you connect your self-worth and self-confidence to the likes and comments you get on a photo.
I know a girl whose one goal was to visit Rome. Then she finally got to Rome, and all she did was post pictures for people at home. Cause all that mattered was impressing everybody she's known. I know enough.
You start feeding for likes and ultimately acceptance. So any photo you post that isn't aligned with this fake persona, you risk losing those likes, which forces you to curate the types of things you end up posting. No one is going to want to see you in a picture without makeup, or at work in your boring job, or look at you going through rough times. They only want the highlights. So that's basically what Instagram has become. The extraordinary highlights. People partying, people getting ready to party, people traveling, people laughing, people on the beach, people on the boat, people modeling with different supplements or something. I don't know. And because all you see are highlights, you assume that this is what everybody's life is like, all the time.
So if you look at everyone on Instagram, you might think, man, they're all these happy, beautiful people, and I'm not that good looking and I'm not happy. So I must suck, and that's gonna make people sad. So when in fact, those people you think are super happy, actually not that happy. Some of them are really depressed. They're very sad.
This leads to problem number 2, and the problem I was talking about before, which is the comparison. The platform is based wholly around objective measures, which basically forces us to compare ourselves based on tangible facts, like the amount of followers someone has, or likes someone gets, or that this person lives in a cool place and looks really happy.
I always hear people complain about the place that they live, that all the people here are fake and they got nothing to give, cause they've been staring at somebody else's version of that makes another city seem more exciting than it is. I know
Again, comparison is natural, and to a certain degree can be quite beneficial. But when we baseline the way our lives are supposed to look off of a glorified highlight reel of someone else's, that's when comparison and social media becomes toxic. Well, not all social media. This is VSCO, or Visual Supply Company. It's a minimalist publishing platform that mirrors Instagram in many ways, but at its core has a whole different intention. Before it was a platform to share content, VSCO started out as just a photo editor and preset tool for professional photographers. So because of that foundation of purely photography, when the company expanded and created a social app, their intention was never to rival Instagram. Their intention was sharing the art of photography.
Our mission is to empower people everywhere to create and share their voice.
I think the most immediate difference between VSCO and a platform like Instagram is the total absence of numbers. And that goes against everything social media is. Facebook is a like, Instagram is a follower, YouTube is a subscriber. VSCO is simply sharing. It's social media at its most basic form. You are able to repost photos that you like or find interesting. This is a photo I took at a Drake concert a few years ago. It got highlighted by the VSCO team and received a ton of republishes. But there's no number there. There's no way to say this person is more popular because they have more followers or more likes. It can often be impossible to tell if a photo is taken by a professional photographer or just a regular guy with an iPhone. You don't know if this girl posing is a professional model or just some girl that lives down the street. And the interesting thing is that a neural study from 2016 found that we actually pay closer attention to photos with more likes or more activity on it, which means that on an app like Instagram, we are more inclined to like a photo that has a lot of likes, compared to that same photo if it had not as many likes. With this in mind, since VSCO has no likes, it actually forces us to step outside of our comfort zone and look at the photos for what they really are. Now, if you flip that logic of having no numbers and then you go to post something, there's no inclination to reach a certain amount of likes. It's no longer a social game. There's no strategy to posting. So the benefit of having no numbers is that you think less about how other people are going to view it and more about what the photo actually means to you. It promotes you to post ordinary photos because there's no number to live up to or popularity contest to dominate. One of the best ways the team at VSCO encourages the ordinary posting is by literally promoting it. Their official user page that you can follow on the app is completely flooded with photos they've reposted from other users, the majority of which are not considered to be extraordinary by most standards. They're normal. They're plain. They're photos of someone's car, or someone's dog, or someone's living room, or someone's grandma, or a beam of light, or a scratch, or a plant, or a spider, or a shadow, or a tear, or a smile. They're ordinary, honest, everyday photos.
We aim to be tools for people to express themselves in an honest and human fashion and to find inspiration from all over the world as well as at home and through like-minded creatives.
Art is another characteristic that separates humans from other species. It's something that's integral in the human experience. And in a world where sharing and being connected is essential, VSCO encourages regular, everyday people to indulge in their creative side and see what they can create from their regular life. I know for me personally, VSCO has truly made me look at my environment in a different way than I ever had before. And it's because rather than being bored of my everyday surroundings, I'm looking at what's unique about them. Again, if we can learn anything from that season finale of The Office, it's the importance of embracing your own ordinary world and making the very best of it. Find what makes your world unique and share it with us. I'm not saying to abandon Instagram. I know I'm still going to use it. I'm just saying it's worth thinking about how you use it and how it makes you feel after you've scrolled through your feed. And whenever you do need a reality check, I think VSCO is a refreshing outlet to turn to and see that life isn't always picture perfect.